Captain Christopher Pike requests permission to come aboard.
The producers, Alex Kurtzman and a few other cast members, give a lot of details on what's going to happen in season 2 in these Comic-Con interviews.
There are a lot of things that have been mentioned over time that are alluded to, but they're gray areas. There's a lot of detail missing. And we're going to, like we did last season a little bit with the Clone War, get to explore an area that hasn't really been explored.
He wants to explore canon, absolutely, stay within the confines of canon, but just touch the edges of it, so there's surprises, and so it's not predictable. And I think they've been doing a great job of that.
I think they're always keeping canon in mind and using that as a structure and a limitation that's actually very creative and inspiring. And so I think that they really did that in the first season, and we will continue to, while also like pushing the boundaries and really being true to the kind of stories that we want to tell.
My foster brother, Mr. Spock.
He took leave. It says if he'd run into a question he couldn't answer.
I think it'll be so exciting for the fan base. Spock is such a beloved character. I mean, and really captured the imaginations of all people, not just hardcore like Trek fans, you know. I think it's going to be really fun and really root the show, and how we approach that is going to be as ever unique and with our very particular point of view. So I'm excited.
I can tell you that that's a huge deal. And we're going to be really digging into that relationship. We're digging into a lot of family dynamics in season 2, as we've been saying, and not just in that family, not just between Burnham and Spock and Sarek and Amanda, but also with the entire crew.
Dig into it before we meet him, after we meet him. You know, it's a brother-sister in a weird, unique way that we could only do on Star Trek.
What I think is good is that any characters and any familiarity from old Trek, from classic Trek that you can bring into our new series is good.
The Spock that we will meet is 10 years pre-TOS. So he's not formed in the same way that he's formed by the time you get to TOS. And what we will learn is that a lot of what made him the Spock he was and what will make him the Spock he is has to do with his family and his sister.
I mean, it's going to add a whole extra layer, especially for Burnham. You know, it's this whole family exploration that she's going to have to go through. That's going to affect her other relationships because there's going to be something on her mind.
But I think he comes with some mystery. I think we're going to learn things about Spock that we didn't necessarily know before.
Headed.
The long game of season 2, I think, among many things that are going to happen, are to settle and answer the how. How do we fit in with this thing? I think it's going to get really settled in a way that's very satisfying. And then from there, yes, I do believe that by the end of the season there will be like new things opening up that will be entirely ours.
I think it would be cool to learn more about Pike's personal life. You know, we're going to get to know this character more than we've ever gotten to know any iteration of the character. So it's a tremendous amount of responsibility. It's strange trying to separate the sense of responsibility from the sense of pressure, because you can't play under pressure. It doesn't work.
I'm excited for that path toward humanity to continue for Burnham, because it is something that I have been doing, and I was doing in a way that was sort of subconscious when I first left Vulcan and came to the Shenzhou, and I served under Georgiou for 7 years. I didn't realize what she was doing, but she was just pulling me closer and closer to humanity in such a graceful kind of way, and then deciding in episode 6, I'm going to do this actively. I'm going to pursue humanity actively, and then having it all be a disaster because it's like emotions and logic, and it was just like a really, you know, it was messy. It was a messy mix, but now I have all of these decisions to contend with at this point now that the war is over. So I'm excited to deal with all of that, and that's what we're all going to be doing.